Deadlines are part of life, whether at work, school, or in everyday tasks. But why do they cause so much stress for so many people? Is it just about running out of time, or is there something deeper going on inside our minds? In this video, we'll uncover the science behind why deadlines create stress. We'll look at how our brains react to time pressure, why procrastination happens, and what mental traps make deadlines feel even harder. You'll also learn why some people handle deadlines better than others, and how your environment and mindset play a big role. By the end, you'll have clear, practical tips to manage deadline stress and boost your focus so deadlines don't control you anymore. Whether you face deadlines at work, school, or in your personal projects, understanding these hidden factors can help you stay calm and perform at your best. Let's get started. Stress is something almost everyone experiences. It's a feeling we get when things around us feel difficult, overwhelming, or urgent. But what exactly is stress, and why do deadlines make it worse? At its core, stress is a reaction of the body and mind to challenges. When you face a tough task, your brain signals your body to prepare. This is sometimes called the fight or flight response. Your heart beats faster, breathing changes, and your muscles get ready for action. These changes help you respond quickly to danger or pressure. Deadlines create pressure because they mark a fixed point in time when something must be finished. Imagine you have a project due in 2 days. Your brain knows there is a limited amount of time to get everything done. This sense of limited time triggers stress because your mind is trying to solve a problem within a short window. Our brain has a special way of thinking about time. It does not always understand time exactly as a clock does. Instead, it focuses more on how close or far away events feel. When a deadline is far away, the brain often sees it as less urgent. But as the deadline gets closer, urgency grows quickly. This is why stress usually increases as the deadline approaches. Scientists call this a change in time perception. It means the brain senses time moving differently depending on the situation. This shift in perception can cause people to feel more anxious or rushed, even if the actual time left is the same. Stress is not all bad. A certain amount of stress can help people focus and work harder. This is sometimes called eustress or positive stress. But when stress becomes too strong or lasts too long, it can harm both the body and mind. High stress can cause headaches, trouble sleeping, difficulty concentrating, and even weaken the immune system. One important part of understanding stress is recognizing that it affects everyone differently. Some people handle deadlines calmly, others feel overwhelmed quickly. This difference happens because of how each person's brain processes time and pressure. Factors like personality, experience, and even physical health play a role. In summary, stress from deadlines starts in the brain's reaction to limited time and pressure. The closer a deadline gets, the more urgent the brain feels the need to act. This urgency can help motivate people, but also cause discomfort and anxiety. Deadlines don't just cause stress, they also change the way people feel motivated to work. To understand this, we need to look at how the brain reacts when there is a limited time to finish a task. When a deadline is far away, motivation tends to be low. It's easy to put off starting the work because it doesn't feel urgent. The brain knows there's plenty of time, so the task doesn't demand immediate attention. This often leads to procrastination, where people delay beginning what they need to do. As the deadline gets closer, something interesting happens. Motivation begins to rise. The brain senses that time is running out, which increases the urgency to act. This creates a push to focus and finish the work before the deadline. The pressure feels real, and this can be a strong driver to get things done. Scientists have studied this pattern closely. One important idea is called temporal motivation theory. It explains how motivation depends on 4 factors: how valuable the reward is, how close the deadline is, how likely success seems, and how much effort the task requires. According to this theory, motivation is highest when a task has a high reward and a deadline that's near. For example, if you have a big bonus waiting for finishing a project by Friday, you'll likely work harder as Friday approaches. But this increase in motivation isn't always smooth. Sometimes the pressure can feel overwhelming, which leads to stress instead of focus. When the brain feels too much pressure, it may have trouble thinking clearly or staying calm. This is why some people freeze or feel anxious near deadlines. Another effect of deadlines on motivation is the student syndrome. This is a pattern where people wait until the last moment to start a task. They often do this because the task feels too distant or boring at first. But once the deadline is close, they suddenly begin working, sometimes rushing or pulling all-nighters. This behavior has both positives and negatives. On one hand, the rush can help people concentrate and complete the task quickly. On the other hand, waiting too long increases stress and reduces the chance of producing quality work. Deadlines can also change how people estimate their own ability to finish on time. When the deadline is far, people may underestimate how long a task takes. This is called the planning fallacy. It causes delays because the person assumes they have more time than they really do. As a deadline nears, people often realize the task is harder than expected. This can cause panic and a sudden burst of effort. While this may help finish the work, it also increases stress. In the workplace, deadlines are common and necessary to keep projects moving. But when deadlines are too tight or unclear, they can cause unnecessary pressure and reduce motivation instead of helping. In short, deadlines influence motivation by creating urgency. This urgency pushes people to act faster and focus more. But if the pressure grows too strong, motivation can turn into stress, making it harder to work well. Procrastination is one of the main reasons people feel stressed when facing deadlines. It happens when you delay starting or finishing a task, even though you know it needs to be done. But why do people procrastinate, especially when the deadline is close? At first, procrastination might seem like laziness. However, it is often more complicated. Many times, people put off work because of fear, anxiety, or feeling overwhelmed. The task might seem too big or too hard to start. Sometimes people worry about failing or not doing a perfect job, so they avoid beginning at all. Another cause of procrastination is how the brain handles emotions. When a task feels unpleasant or boring, the brain wants to avoid that feeling. Instead of focusing on the work, the brain looks for distractions or more enjoyable activities. This makes starting the task difficult, even though the deadline looms. When deadlines approach, procrastination causes stress to increase sharply. The time left feels too short, and suddenly the pressure becomes intense. People rush to complete the work, which often leads to mistakes, poor quality, or exhaustion. There's a common pattern known as student syndrome, where people wait until the last possible moment to begin a task. This happens because the brain ignores the task when the deadline is far, thinking there's plenty of time. But once the deadline nears, the brain's urgency signals kick in, forcing a fast and sometimes chaotic effort. Procrastination also links to how people estimate time. The planning fallacy means people tend to underestimate how long tasks will take. So they delay starting, thinking they have more time than they do. When reality sets in, stress and panic grow. This cycle of procrastination and rushing increases negative feelings. Stress builds up not just from the deadline, but from regret and guilt about waiting too long. This emotional conflict makes working under pressure harder. Interestingly, some studies show that a small amount of pressure from procrastination can improve focus and energy. But this only works if the person can manage stress well. For many, the pressure becomes overwhelming, reducing productivity and well-being. To reduce procrastination, it helps to break tasks into smaller steps. This makes the work feel less scary and easier to start. Setting personal mini deadlines before the real one can also keep motivation steady. Understanding why procrastination happens helps explain why deadlines cause stress. It's not just about running out of time, it's about how people handle feelings and plan their work. As a deadline approaches, many people notice a sudden rush of panic. This feeling can be strong and overwhelming. But why does panic increase as time runs out? To answer this, we need to understand how the brain responds to pressure. When time is limited, the brain senses urgency. This urgency signals the body to prepare for quick action. Stress hormones like adrenaline start to flow. These hormones are helpful in short bursts. They increase focus and energy, allowing you to work faster and think more clearly. However, if the pressure becomes too intense, these same hormones can cause panic. Panic makes it hard to think logically. Your mind might jump from one worry to another, making it difficult to concentrate on the task at hand. The brain also reacts to what it sees as threats. A looming deadline can feel like a threat because it signals that failure or punishment might happen if the work isn't finished on time. This activates the brain's alarm system, heightening anxiety and panic. Another reason panic rises is that as time nears, the window for making mistakes shrinks. When there's more time, errors can be fixed or caught, but with little time left, every mistake feels more costly. This increases pressure and can cause a person to freeze or rush, both of which reduce effectiveness. The way people think about the deadline matters. If someone views the deadline as a challenge, they may feel energized and ready to work hard. But if they see it as a threat or punishment, panic is more likely. Cognitive overload plays a role too. When you have many tasks to juggle or a complex project to finish, the brain can become overwhelmed by all the information and choices. Nearing a deadline, this overload can trigger panic and cause poor decisions. Interestingly, some research suggests that panic is linked to the brain's fight or flight response being triggered too early or too strongly. Instead of focusing calmly, the brain goes into a high alert state, which can cause mental blocks or freezing. The good news is that panic is often temporary. Once work gets underway and progress is made, feelings of control increase and panic tends to decrease. This is why taking even small steps towards the goal can help reduce the stress of a looming deadline. In summary, panic rises as deadlines approach because the brain senses a threat and limited time. Stress hormones spike, thinking becomes scattered, and pressure grows. How a person views the deadline and their ability to manage tasks affects whether panic helps or harms performance. When facing deadlines, many people experience stress that comes not just from the ticking clock, but also from the way their minds work. Certain thought patterns and mental habits make deadlines feel more difficult and stressful than they actually are. Understanding these patterns can help us manage stress better. One of the most common mental traps is called the planning fallacy. This happens when people underestimate how long it will take to complete a task. They think this will only take a few hours, but in reality, it takes much longer. Because of this mistake, they leave things until the last minute, which increases pressure and stress. Another common pattern is catastrophizing. This means imagining the worst possible outcome, even if it's unlikely. For example, a person might think, if I don't finish this on time, I'll lose my job, or everyone will think I'm a failure. These thoughts make the deadline feel much scarier and increase anxiety. People also tend to have all or nothing thinking. They believe that their work must be perfect or it's a complete failure. This can stop them from starting or finishing tasks because they fear making mistakes. Instead of doing their best, they might do nothing at all until the pressure becomes unbearable. Another bias is overgeneralization. If someone has missed a deadline before, they might assume they will always fail to meet deadlines. This lowers their confidence and motivation, making it even harder to start early. A common mental habit that increases stress is negative self-talk. This is when people criticize themselves harshly, saying things like, "I'm so bad at managing time," or "I'm hopeless under pressure." Negative self-talk lowers self-esteem and can make stress feel overwhelming. People also fall into confirmation bias. This means they pay more attention to information that supports their fears and ignore anything positive. For example, if they believe they always fail under pressure, they will remember times they did fail, but forget times they succeeded. This keeps stress high and motivation low. Understanding these mental habits is important because they are not facts, they are thoughts that can be changed. Becoming aware of these patterns helps people take a step back and think more clearly about deadlines and their ability to meet them. Simple techniques like breaking the task into small parts, setting realistic goals, and practicing positive self-talk can reduce the impact of these mental traps. When people learn to manage their thinking, deadlines become less scary and more manageable. When facing a deadline, our brain goes through several changes that affect how we think and perform. Pressure from time limits triggers both helpful and harmful responses, depending on how strong the pressure is and how well we handle it. One key part of this response is the release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. In small amounts, these chemicals boost alertness and energy. They sharpen focus, speed up reactions, and can make us work faster. This is why some people say they work best under pressure. However, if stress hormones flood the brain for too long or in high amounts, they start to interfere with thinking. They can cause confusion, make it hard to concentrate, and increase feelings of anxiety. This is why too much pressure often reduces productivity instead of improving it. The brain's prefrontal cortex, which handles planning, decision-making, and self-control, is especially sensitive to stress. When under moderate pressure, it works well to keep us organized and focused. But when pressure is extreme, the prefrontal cortex can become less active. This leads to poor decisions, impulsive actions, or freezing in place. At the same time, other brain areas involved in emotion and survival, like the amygdala, become more active under stress. The amygdala is responsible for detecting threats and triggering the fight or flight response. When it takes over, it becomes harder to think calmly and clearly. This shift explains why people sometimes feel overwhelmed or panicked as deadlines approach. Their brain switches from thoughtful problem-solving to a more reactive, emotional state. This makes managing tasks and time more difficult. Pressure also affects memory. Moderate stress can improve recall of important details, but too much stress can block memory, making it hard to remember what you need to do. This adds to feelings of being lost or confused near deadlines. Interestingly, individuals differ in how their brains react to pressure. Some naturally handle stress better and can keep calm even when time is short. Others are more sensitive and find pressure quickly overwhelming. These differences come from genetics, past experiences, and learned coping skills. Understanding how the brain responds to pressure helps explain why deadlines affect people differently. It also shows why managing stress is key to performing well. Not everyone reacts the same way when deadlines approach. Some people stay calm, focused, and productive, while others feel overwhelmed and stressed. What makes the difference? One key factor is how a person manages stress. People who handle deadlines well often have developed ways to stay calm under pressure. They know how to control their thoughts and emotions instead of letting panic take over. These individuals usually have good planning skills. They break large tasks into smaller parts and set mini deadlines along the way. This helps them avoid last-minute rushes and reduces stress. Another important habit is time management. People who succeed under pressure often schedule their work carefully. They know how long tasks take and leave enough buffer time to handle unexpected problems. Some people are naturally more resilient. Resilience means the ability to bounce back from challenges without becoming overwhelmed. Resilient people view deadlines as challenges to overcome, not threats to fear. Experience also matters. People who have faced many deadlines in the past learn what works for them. They develop routines and strategies that help them stay focused and avoid procrastination. Mindset plays a big role too. Those who see deadlines as opportunities to prove themselves tend to stay motivated. They believe they can meet the challenge, which increases confidence and lowers stress. On the other hand, people who fear failure or doubt their abilities often struggle more with deadlines. Negative thoughts make it harder to start or finish tasks, increasing anxiety. Healthy lifestyle habits can also improve how people handle deadlines. Regular exercise, good sleep, and proper nutrition support brain function and stress management. Finally, seeking support can make a difference. People who talk about their worries or ask for help often manage stress better than those who isolate themselves. In summary, the ability to handle deadlines well comes from a mix of planning, mindset, experience, and healthy habits. These skills can be learned and improved over time. Deadlines don't happen in isolation. The environment around us, our coworkers, managers, and social circles, can make deadlines feel more or less stressful. Understanding these outside influences helps explain why some deadlines cause more pressure than others. One major factor is workplace culture. In some workplaces, deadlines are flexible and teamwork is encouraged. People feel supported and less stressed because they know they can ask for help or share the workload. In other places, deadlines are rigid and the atmosphere is competitive or tense. This can increase pressure and make employees feel isolated or overwhelmed. Managers play a big role too. Clear communication about deadlines, expectations, and resources helps reduce confusion and stress. When managers set unrealistic deadlines or change them often, it causes frustration and anxiety. Social comparison also affects stress. When people see coworkers finishing tasks early or working long hours, they may feel pressured to match that pace. This can lead to overworking and burnout. Team dynamics matter as well. In teams with good cooperation and trust, members support each other and share problems openly. This reduces stress and improves motivation. But in teams with conflict or poor communication, deadlines can become sources of tension and blame. Outside work, family and friends also influence deadline stress. Supportive relationships provide emotional help, advice, and encouragement. Without this support, people may feel alone in managing their tasks, which increases stress. Technology has changed how deadlines feel too. Constant emails, messages, and notifications can make people feel always on, blurring the line between work and personal time. This adds pressure to meet deadlines faster and leaves little time to relax. Finally, cultural expectations shape how people respond to deadlines. In some cultures, meeting deadlines is seen as a sign of professionalism and respect. In others, flexibility and relationship building are prioritized. These differences affect how much stress deadlines cause. In conclusion, social and workplace factors play a big role in deadline stress. Supportive environments and clear communication reduce pressure, while poor culture, unrealistic demands, and lack of support increase it. Many people carry certain beliefs about deadlines that actually make the pressure harder to handle. These misconceptions can cause unnecessary stress and hurt productivity. Understanding and challenging them can help reduce anxiety around deadlines. One common misconception is that deadlines are always rigid and unchangeable. People often think, if I don't finish exactly on time, everything will fall apart. While some deadlines are strict, many can be adjusted or negotiated if communicated early. Believing deadlines are absolute can create needless panic. Another false idea is that working longer hours near a deadline always leads to better results. Many assume that the more time spent, the better the outcome. But research shows that working too long, especially when tired or stressed, reduces focus and creativity. Overworking often leads to mistakes and burnout. Some believe that stress from deadlines is unavoidable and even necessary for success. While some pressure can boost motivation, constant or extreme stress is harmful. It lowers productivity, harms health, and makes learning harder. Accepting stress as a normal part of deadlines without managing it can make things worse. Many think procrastination is just bad discipline or laziness. In reality, procrastination is often linked to fear, perfectionism, or feeling overwhelmed. Labeling it as laziness adds guilt and anxiety, which only increases stress. There's also a belief that multitasking helps meet deadlines faster. People try to juggle many tasks at once, thinking it saves time. But multitasking reduces efficiency and increases errors. Focusing on one task at a time is usually better for quality and speed. Some assume they must do everything perfectly by the deadline. This all-or-nothing thinking increases pressure and delays starting work. Accepting that good enough can be enough often reduces stress and improves progress. Finally, people sometimes believe they are the only ones struggling with deadlines. This isolation makes stress feel heavier. Knowing that many others face similar challenges helps reduce feelings of failure and encourages seeking support. In summary, several common misconceptions about deadlines add to stress unnecessarily. Recognizing these false beliefs and replacing them with realistic views can make deadlines feel more manageable. After exploring why deadlines cause stress, how our brains react, and what mental habits make things harder, it's time to focus on what you can do to manage deadline pressure better. Here are practical lessons and tips that help reduce stress and improve productivity. First, break tasks into smaller steps. Large projects can feel overwhelming. Dividing work into smaller, manageable parts makes starting easier. Completing each small step gives a sense of progress, which reduces anxiety and builds motivation. Set mini deadlines. Instead of focusing only on the final deadline, create personal deadlines for each part of the task. This spreads work evenly over time and prevents last-minute rushes. Plan realistically. Be honest about how long tasks take. Avoid underestimating. Add buffer time for unexpected problems. Good planning reduces panic and gives room to handle challenges calmly. Focus on one task at a time. Multitasking can seem tempting, but often wastes time and causes mistakes. Concentrating on a single task improves quality and speed. Practice positive self-talk. Replace negative thoughts like "I can't do this" with encouraging ones such as "I'm making progress" or "I can handle this step." Positive thinking lowers stress and boosts confidence. Manage your environment. Limit distractions like phone notifications or noisy places when working. A calm environment helps maintain focus and reduces stress. Use stress relief techniques. Simple actions like deep breathing, short breaks, or stretching can lower stress hormones and clear your mind. Taking care of your body supports better thinking. Communicate early. If a deadline feels unrealistic or problems arise, talk to managers, teachers, or team members early. Open communication can lead to adjustments and reduce last-minute pressure. Build healthy habits. Regular sleep, exercise, and balanced nutrition keep your brain and body strong. Healthy habits improve stress tolerance and overall performance. Finally, learn from experience. After finishing tasks, reflect on what worked and what didn't. Adjust your planning and habits to improve future deadline management. Remember, stress around deadlines is normal, but it doesn't have to control you. By understanding how deadlines affect your mind and body and using these practical tools, you can face deadlines with more confidence and less anxiety. Deadlines don't have to be a source of constant stress. When we understand why they affect our minds and bodies the way they do, we can take control instead of feeling overwhelmed. Remember, stress from deadlines often comes from how we think about time, pressure, and our own abilities. By breaking tasks into smaller steps, setting realistic goals, and practicing positive self-talk, you can reduce anxiety and improve your focus. Also, don't forget the power of your environment and support system. Clear communication, healthy habits, and asking for help when needed make a big difference. Everyone faces deadlines, but how you respond to them can change everything. Use these insights and strategies to turn deadlines into manageable challenges rather than sources of panic. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more videos that help you understand and improve your daily life.